Who's talking about? Oh, see, I told about this 1090 Jake shit, man. Why y'all keep saying my boy 1090 Jake is snitch, man? Everybody know he kept it solid. Come on, man, stop playing with my boy 1090 Jake. 1090 Jake. All right, I'll just put the exposed in. All right, okay. So apparently some nigga made some paperwork on him. Let's see what's going on. Here we go.
What's happening, people? Back with another video. Now we all know 1090 Jake, the Florida blood who exposes snitches on his YouTube.
Is this a nigga from the UK? Yo, the international commentators are like, they jump out the woodworks when this shit come on, don't they?
YouTube channel. End of sentence. Well, recently, 1090 Jake has had karma come back to bite him, as he has just been exposed for giving Tampa police a statement the year that he was sent to prison. Since the paperwork has been exposed, 1090 Jake has contacted his lawyer to try and currently get the case stricken from court records. So let's get into the paperwork. Here's the first page of the paperwork. As we can see, Jacob Cherry with all his information. It then says statement taken, yes, and then a list of the suspect's description given by 1090 Jake. On the next page, we have narrative text given by the police officer who attended the scene that night. On the 23rd of March 2012, we responded to an address in reference to shots fired in the residence. Upon my arrival, I searched the immediate area for two suspects, two white male teens approximately 13 to 14 years of age. One male was wearing a red t-shirt and shorts. The second male was wearing a black t-shirt and grey shorts. He was the suspect with the gun. The two suspects were not found during this search of the area. I responded back to the residence and conducted the eyewitness's interview. See his listed sworn statement, referring to 1090 Jake. I observed two small holes in the upper part of the bedroom window on the east side of the residence. It was determined that the suspects used an airsoft pellet gun. There were no holes in the walls of the bedroom after contact with the window, and no pellets were located inside the residence. This is the first time the two suspects have been seen in the area by the eyewitness. No further leads to this investigation at this time. On the next page, we get into the eyewitness statement. The eyewitness, Jacob Cherry, made the following sworn statement. He was sitting in the living room watching television. He heard glass break in the bedroom and what sounded like a gunshot. He walked in the bedroom and saw two holes in the window. He looked out the window and saw two white teens about 13 to 14 years of age. One was a Hispanic wearing a red shirt and shorts. The other was wearing a black...
Holy. Is this true? Is this
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And
airsoft handgun. They saw him looking at them and they ran northbound on Fremont towards Waters. He has never seen them in the area before and cannot identify them. Now you're probably wondering, how did the internet get a hold of this paperwork? Well, I'm going to leave a clip in here explaining exactly how.
Alright, so I'm going to tell y'all how I came upon this paperwork. And I got some corresponding messages between me and 1090 from this morning. So we basically spoke about, what was mentioned in this actual paperwork. So now, he basically, I'm gonna tell you what he thinks about all of this, right? He's saying that I'm basically trying to get some get back from the whole Boston Richie situation. Cause what I was able to do is, on the whole Boston Richie case, I was able to obtain like all the documentation.
I see y'all saying Playboy Cardi. We're gonna talk about it afterwards. Chill.
Related to his case. It was like 14 videos and like 13 audios and stuff like that. Like his dad actually sat down with the detectives that were involved. There were two other people that sat down with detectives, so on and so forth. So this is not like no get back to get at him for putting out that video, but I was kind of agitated, right? So after he had put out that video, I did what was called a public record request. That's how most of these videos that he obtained, like interrogation videos and stuff, Florida, they follow by a transparency law where they allow the public, law enforcement, or anybody to request all of this documentation. So I noticed that on Hillsborough County that he has multiple cases. And I noticed that there's one particular case where they consolidated all together, which he had caught numerous cases throughout the time that basically they consolidated it all together, and that all sent them to prison, right?
I'm gonna play him talking to No Jumper afterwards. I don't want to cut this person off and make it seem like I'm biased.
So on the Hillsborough County, I noticed that when you read it, when you guys look at an affidavit, it's basically what they used to say Boston Richey was a snitch, allegedly, right? In the beginning, they looked at the affidavit, they saw 3 witnesses, they notified him as being witness number 3. That's an affidavit. They send that to the judge sign off on it. Then the police come pick them up for a warrant or whatever the case may be. So I noticed that on his affidavits, it's only like 1 or 2 pages. And his case was it was pretty big. And I noticed that, they only got 2 pages for, all of these charges. I believe it was like burglary and so on and so forth. So what I did was I put in a public record request with the prosecutors on his case. Now I got the documentation. It's like 60 something. I want to say it's like 70, maybe 70 pages of his entire case, including an interrogation video of his co-defendant, which is Tyrell. So that's just the case that sent him to prison. Then he had another cases which he was carrying a concealed firearm, which another dude
No disrespect, bro. We gotta get to this shit, bro. Let me see. 1090 Jake. I think he talks to No Jumper. Let's see what he said.
That's the actual thing?
Every morning.
Wait, are you gonna move like?
Here you go.
Like
No,
that?
some.
Let me see.
That's snitching, bro.
What if you're driving on the street and someone
Like if
That's all criminals. Because I'm running, I'm chasing.
Your own police work.
So he got ties to the end.
Okay, here we
What's going on? They're trying to smear your name. We got to talk about it.
Man, they tight right now. I talked to the person who put it out, and he's saying his whole reasoning behind it was off the Boston Richey shit. He said he got ties to the industry. So it seems like ever since I did that video on bruh, they trying to find any little thing they can get to make me go away type shit.
Yeah, I figured. What actually happened in that situation though that was described in the paperwork?
Bro, that whole shit lame as hell. So basically, my aunt had some shit in her room. I don't want to fucking give too many details on shit, but she used to have guns and shit. And I was locked out of the room. So I went outside and I popped the window with a fucking pellet rifle twice. I shoot the window right above where the lock switch is, so I can stick like a pen or a pencil in the hole and flip open the lock and then open up the window from the outside. So when I popped the shit, I shot it the first time, it made a little hole. I shot it the second time, made a big ass hole. So I'm like, all right, fuck, now I need to make up a story. So I call her and tell her this whole story. Yeah, I heard a shot, da-da-da-da-da. I seen this, I seen that. She ends up calling the police. Police come, whatever. That's where the whole fucking narrative came from. It says in the paperwork, nobody was found, nobody existed. It was more so I tried to get into her shit, shot it, told her a story. She ended up calling the police.
That's genius.
That's a huge reach. They trying to fucking bury my boy Jake for no fucking reason. He didn't. That's not telling right there at all.
That's not snitching. That's not even the.
No, so and this is the thing, bro. And it's like everything has come back down to the same thing, right? With everyone that's tried to say something about me, whether it was speaking with the news about the prison shit, whether anything, it all comes back down to, oh, he's white. Oh, we ain't listening to a cracker. Oh, we don't want to.
All right, chat. Let me ask a quintessential question. If you lie and don't, I've been calling snitches recently truth tellers. But if you lie, is it still snitching? Do you get what I'm saying? So I've been saying Robert Allen, he's telling the truth. He's a truth teller. Gunna, he's a truth teller. 6ix9ine, he's telling the truth. He's a truth teller. But if the cops jam you up and then you just lie, but you are talking to them, Is that snitching? Now, hold on. I'm going to be objective. And by the way, Jake is my man's. I fuck with Jake heavy. But I want to be very clear and also fair. Right? Because, you see, Jake is on the content side of things, and he's going to be able to hop on here and talk to me and talk to Adam or whoever more times, and he's going to be more eloquent and more whatever than, say, Boston Richie. Here's my full opinion on it. I think this is why this is a very slippery slope when it comes to snitching. Because here's the thing, right? Boston Richie said, yo, I spun the detectives. When y'all play that video, I spun the detectives. I told him about some people that don't exist. I'm telling them to look up people that ain't got nothing to do with it. He says, I'm lying too. I'm just lying to the cops. However, people are saying that's snitching. I think that's a stretch. Nobody got put in jail. Nobody did no time for it. Yeah, did you speak to the police? Yes. And this is where I think, the 1090 Jake stuff becomes a little interesting because 1090 Jake seemingly has maybe a similar situation. 1090 Jake didn't put nobody in jail. Did he tell a bunch of lies and spin the police? Yes. What kind of happens is you tell me what is so different of what Boston Richie did than what 1090 Jake did. Other than the actuality of Boston Richie did that while he actually lost a family member. So his family member was lost and he still was trying to spin the cops. Boston Richie did that while he lost a family member and he was trying to spin the cops. 1090 Jake, clearly he say, he did some not fucked up shit, but he made a mistake and he was just trying to get out of, because since his parents or whatever adult called the cops, he was trying to spin out of it. Here's my point. I don't think neither of these individuals are snitches. I don't think Boston Richie's a snitch. And I don't think 1090 Jake is a snitch. But it goes back to the same quintessential question. How serious or how strict are we going to be about the snitching shit? Because we're going to call a lot of things snitching. We had one individual got on my stream and I say, yo, talking to the police at all is snitching, or giving up a fucking, giving up, what do you call it again? If you give your license or your name, you're snitching. Like, really? The point is this. And I guess, and whenever I talk to Jake, I would ask him this one question. Bro, look at how they're trying to crucify you. Do you now look at what people call snitching a little bit different? Because if we go by some of the rules that people think they're taking from you, talking to the cops at all is snitching. That's why some people are trying to claim that you snitched, but you didn't snitch. But then if you use that same thinking to say, we know you didn't snitch and blah, 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 why can't we understand and excuse what Boston Richie did? So I think that's the only thing. And, to 1090 Jake's point, I absolutely believe that, yes, there's probably Boston Richie and his people probably are trying to have people put out information about 1090 Jake, which would be fair because you put out information about them, but it also drives an interest in parallel if the information they're trying to put out about you not necessarily is false, right? But it pretty much leads people to the same conclusion that you led people to about them. So basically saying if he was wrong for talking to the cops at all, well, you talk to the cops too, right? And also, if we just think about it just only based on what we know, if nobody got convicted based on what he said, right? And nobody got convicted based on what you said, if you ain't a snitch, maybe he not a snitch. And this is my thing about this whole scarlet lettering thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Somebody says, not the same, stop it. Tiger Woo 1, I would love to hear why you think it's not the same, because I want to be very fair with it. I'm very cool with 1090 Jake, but I'm also just not gonna, say something that, I'm not analyzing at the time. D'Angelo Thompson. Okay. This guy, D'Angelo Thompson, he is on it. I don't know if is he a YouTuber or something like that? Or I don't know if he's on Boston Richie's team. He said, yo, bro, Google more paperwork on 1090 Jake. This is a video? Is this your channel, nigga?
Welcome back to another episode of Raw Talk, where we get 0 F's over here. Today we have a little different topic. Somebody sent me some stuff in my email. Also, it has been proven to be official 100% came directly from the Tampa Bay Police Department. Case number is attached. If you want to do your own research, the case number is right here in the banner. Go ahead and look it up for yourself. So today we have 1090 Jake. We have some paperwork that's been revealed on 1090 Jake. And the funny thing is about this whole situation is a compadre, an amigo of mine, said, I'm ordering 1090 Jake's paperwork. That amigo of mine is actually cool with 1090 Jake. That amigo of mine told 1090 Jake that he was ordering his paperwork. And since, this was about 2 weeks ago, since 1090 Jake has not stayed out of his DM saying, I'm ordering my paperwork too as well. And have you found anything that I can post? And just very nervous about the whole situation. Now, a completely other source who is a YouTuber that goes by the name of Crime. I got to look it up. I'm sorry. I just met this
Unspoken Crime?
Yes, Unspoken Crime Murders.
What the fuck is going on here? Hold on. Let me just try to get through some paper.
Not a suspect in this case. He's actually a witness. He's actually witness number 1 in the case. The only witness that talked to the police. The only witness that identified people. Let's go. An unknown suspect unlawfully fired 2 rounds from an airsoft handgun into an unoccupied room.
Fled undetected.
Filed and undetected. Sorry, I need my glasses, All right, let's get into this. You want to read that out, Zebby? You got a good speech. Let's go.
On 3/23/2012, we responded to 80 in reference to shots fired in the residence. Upon my arrival, I searched the immediate area for the 2 suspects. 2 white male teens, approximately 13 to 14 years of age. One male was wearing a red t-shirt and shorts. The second male was wearing a black t-shirt and gray shorts. Was the suspect with the gun? The 2 suspects were not found during the search of the area. I responded back to the residence and conducted the eyewitnesses interview. See his listed sworn statement.
Eyewitness is Jacob Cherry, a.k.a. the 1090 Jakester. The 1090 Jakester.
And then he says, I observed 2 small holes in the upper part of the bedroom window on the east side of the residence. It was determined that the suspect used an airsoft pellet gun. There were no holes in the walls of the bedroom after contact with the window, and no pellets were located inside the residence. This is the first time the 2 suspects have been seen in the area by the eyewitness. No further leads to this investigation at this time.
Who's the eyewitness? Jacob Cherry, right? I see somebody in the chat say you're talking about some kids. Yes, we are talking about some kids. These kids were allegedly 14 to 15 years old who came to Jacob Cherry, a.k.a. 1090's house, shot through the window with an airsoft gun. 1090 Jake proceeded to call the police, tell the police their description and exactly what they look like. So let's get back into the paperwork.
And what isn't snitching?
Of 1090 is like he was the only one that had a car. Both of y'all went somewhere. You told him it.
All right, man. This is enough, bruh. Listen, man. I just don't care about this snitching shit like that, bruh. Man, snitching shit has just gotten so complicated. Like, yo, 1090 Jake seems cool to me, bruh. Like, yo, this is what I didn't want to get. Like, I don't want to get to this point of it where now everybody's looking to like out somebody else as a snitch. And that's why I did fear this whole thing was going to get to. Here's the point. Everybody's going to have to make up their own mind. I love 1090 Jake in terms of his content, but 1090 Jake, you know, even if he says that Boston Richie's a snitch, me personally, I don't call Boston Richie a snitch. I don't think he snitched. I'm sorry. I don't think he snitched. Maybe my bar of snitching is a little bit higher. I need you to sit there and fucking read it out and fucking put it on paper and point niggas out like really aggressively for you to be a snitch in my book. Maybe not Boston Richie's. Not Boston. I mean, maybe not 1090 Jake's book. And I think we all got to start using our own brains, man. Like, yo, if you think Boston Richie's a snitch, he's a snitch to you. If you think he's not a snitch, he's not a snitch. So now they're attacking the credibility of 1090 Jake. And whether he did tell or not, I don't care. So it's like, I'm listening to the shit, I'm like, do I really
It's basically like somebody hit him up.
Do I really give a fuck? No. So again, if you're asking me, is 1090 Jake a snitch? I don't know, nor do I care. Now, he probably very much cares. And probably other people that listen to him or watch him probably very much cares. I don't give a fuck. Okay?
It might have been.
Right.
Okay, your original case was investigated by Tampa PD. Tampa PD forwarded that information over to the Hillsborough County. They wrote up an affidavit, that affidavit was used because they.
Is he talking to 1090 Jake?
Didn't arrest y'all for this until like a month after, correct? After y'all broke into the crib, you weren't arrested till like a month after, because you caught a couple cases after that, right? It might have been like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, it was something like that. Cause Tyrell got
Zebby, that boy trying extra hard right now to deflect.
Oh my God. Alki187 says, yo, Ackman, I'm from B-More, man. A rat is a rat. It's not that complex. No pun intended. Ack, both of them are rats. Like, come on, bro. Are y'all serious? Y'all looking at Boston Richie and 1090 Jake like a rat? Yo. Let me see if I can get 1090 Jake on here. I'll ask him some hard questions. Y'all want me to ask him some hard questions? I'll ask him some hard questions, people. Like, what is up with y'all, man? This stuff is just getting out of hand. It's like I just don't care. Yo, somebody bring 1090 Jake in our Discord if y'all can. Oh my God.
Seemed like that, but.
And then the very next day, I got hit with armed burglary, 15 counts, grand theft firearm.
Yeah.
Grand theft 5,000, 10,000, so 17 in charge.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, look, going back to what I was saying is that when Tampa PD sent this over to the Hillsborough County, all they did was uploaded one or either 2-page affidavit where it only gave a small outline of what happened. Your lawyer had put in a motion to redact some information that was in the affidavit that was a lot more pages than what they uploaded onto the Hillsborough County. So what I did was I did a public records request to get the full affidavit. Now, I put in 2 public records requests. I put in one for the battery case that you have, which is this paperwork. And then I put in another affidavit, which was for the original case. Now, I'm still waiting on that, but apparently it's weird because it's a lot of pages related to that affidavit. Is only usually $4 or $5, but this particular affidavit was like 50 something. It was like $53 and some change. You feel me?
You're talking about the affidavit to the burglary case?
Yeah.
So what I think that is, if you haven't gotten this up, did you get all the Bolo reports?
Nah, I don't.
Oh my God, man. This just reminds me, this shit's gotten too technical for me now, bro. I'm good. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, Facts.
Yo, what up, my boy?
Yo, Facts. You've been seeing this shit, man. What's your thought, man?
I'm gonna keep it official. And you know I fuck with 1090 Jake Act, but I'm gonna tell you
You're
the
not
truth.
about to say what I think you're about to say. Stop it.
Yeah, gang. Listen, if 1090 Jake said that Boston Richie is a rat for making up names and shit, and 1090 Jake said he did the same thing, then that's literally snitching. Honestly.
So you think 1090 Jake snitching?
I don't think he's snitching. I just think that he was young and he wasn't really thinking.
Wait, hold on.
Like,
Not to cut you up. But
Not back. He can't call Boston Richie for doing that. And then
seen him do it.
Yeah.
I seen him do it.
Yeah. It look different. Like, you can't just do that. Like,
nah, but I agree with y'all in principle. I do believe this kind of is one and the same, right? So it's like if Boston Richie snitched for doing that, but honestly though, I don't think neither of these niggas snitched.
Nah, they both did act.
Stop it, bro. Bro, stop it.
I just think it's just a coincidence. Finesse 2 times just say it. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. I think it's just that.
Wait. Hey, can we get 1090 here?
I'm about to hit him right now.
Just text Facts to do that.
Yeah, I got you. It just look different.
Wait. All right, hold on. Because I'm trying not to give a fuck about this, but it seemed like y'all still care about it. Oh, damn, this nigga been donating all night. Some nigga named D'Angelo Thompson, 1090, he don't fuck with you. Somebody said, wrong video act. You got to type in more paperwork on 1090 and 2 people.
Yo, spam the Discord so that nigga could come into the Discord.
Yo, D'Angelo, you got to get a Discord. Oh, shit. Nigga, I know. This nigga just... Yo, he spammed me to find the video from an hour ago. Like, yo, stop it, bro. Like, no way. I kid you not. He spammed me to find the video from an hour ago. Like, he might have made this video. Let me hear this.
Just respect the word to you honor. Paperwork. Nobody was found. Nobody existed. Shut the fuck. Shut. No! On patrol in the area, the investigating officer observed 2 individuals matching the description provided by Mr. Jacob Cherry, aka 1090, aka end of sentence. He snitched. They were both read their rights and charged with blank in a residential area. He snitched. He snitched.
And what basically happens is I go in front of the judge, I plead guilty, I admit to doing everything that they said, and then the judge denies it.
He snitched.
I'm just like, what? Like, the prosecutor came up with this deal. Now, what I was able to do is I met a couple people that lived pretty much on my block that were also going to court here, and one of them brought up the Roxbury Choice Program. The Roxbury Choice Program is a program...
Right after coming home, he gets a plea deal. For guess what, y'all? Guess what? A program. After the judge denied the plea deal.
I plead guilty, I admit to doing everything that they said, and then the judge denies it.
He snitched.
I'm just like, what?
Judge denies the plea deal. They go back, come back with a plea deal for a program, a special program. Ain't that right, 1090?
So I was actually approved to go into the choice program.
But 1090 is all about the statements. It's all about the statements. When they question you about the murders out there, ooh, to be continued, all right? But what we hear today is about the paperwork we have today, not the one that's coming in a week or two. All right? Talking about this. All right? The eyewitness, Jacob Cherry, made the following sworn statement. He was sitting in the living room
watching television. He heard glass break in the bedroom and what sounded like a gunshot. He walked in the bedroom and saw 2 holes in the window. He looked out the window and saw 2 white teens, about 13 to 14 years of age. One was a Hispanic wearing a red shirt and shorts. The other was wearing a black t-shirt and green shorts. He was the one carrying the black airsoft gun. God damn it, 1090.
He snitched.
He was never seen. Okay, he has never seen them in the area before, and he can not identify them. Right? Let's go on. Right here says that he is an eyewitness. All right, shoot through. Deadly, unoccupied, whatever we're gonna say, right? Let's continue, y'all. Now, 1090 went on Jake. Nah, 1090 he is Jake, duh. 1090 went on Adam. No, Adam called Jake when this first came out. I've seen him do it. Some bullshit story that he was the one that is always do with guns, right? He's always do with guns, right? That his aunt had a whole lot of guns in their house, and he was just trying to shoot it out. Then
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law
Described in the paperwork.
Bro, that whole shit lame as hell. So basically, my aunt had some shit in her room. You know, I don't want to fucking give too many details on shit, but she used to have guns and shit. And I was locked out of the room. So I went outside and I popped the window with a fucking pellet rifle twice. I shoot the window right above where the lock switch is, so I can stick like a pen or a pencil in the hole and flip open the lock and then open up the window from the outside. So when I popped the shit, I shot it the first time, it made a little hole. I shot it the second time, made a big ass hole. So I'm like, all right, fuck, now I need to make up a story. So I called her and tell her this whole story. Yeah, I heard a shot, da-da-da-da-da. I seen this, I seen that. She ends up calling the police. Police come, whatever. That's where the whole fucking narrative came from. It says in the paperwork, nobody was found, nobody existed. It was more so I tried to get into her shit, shot it, told her a story. She ended up calling the police.
Bullshit, right? But that's what y'all accepted, all right? Y'all accepted it. Boom. Oh, man. Investigating officer, Legit Gary, while on patrol in the area, the investigating officer observed 2 individuals matching the description provided by Mr. Jacob Cherry, aka 1090, aka end of sentence. The individuals were apprehended on New Orleans Ave and questioned in regards of the shots fired. The individual were identified as blank and blank. Upon questioning, blank and blank stated that they was just playing a prank and had no intentions of causing harm. They were both read their rights and charged with blank in a residential area. God damn, y'all read the rest. But I'm just saying.
The victim, he said, oh, I should have shot her later on live acting gangster. But in that moment, he snitched. And a lot of
got him. We fucking got him.
We in the chain gang and you get called in the captain's office and they say, hey, who is this? Point them out. We got pictures right here. You gonna point them out for the captain? He snitched. He snitched.
CGI, nigga.
Your man just got caught rapping. Your man made a standard for rapping. Y'all can't move the goalposts. That's all it is. Y'all just want to move the goalposts.
That nigga ain't even hit me back either.
That's not real paperwork, though, is it? Did somebody get locked up for it?
Hey, think about this. Yo, Jake May was like, "Oh, Boston Richie, he ratted, he did this." But like I said, 10 Jake made a goalpost. He can't move his own goalpost that he made.
Honestly,
Wale ain't spitting.
Yo, chat, get Jake in here.
No way. Nah, like Nah, chat. Nah. We not believing that. Nah, we not believing that. Nah, it's no way.
Hey, how about this? In the words, it was a misunderstanding. How about that?
Nah. Nah, gang, it ain't no other way. Act like that nigga.
It's a misunderstanding.
He was young.
Okay. So from the story I heard from Jake, he said, "Yo, his mama had some guns and stuff some adult had some stuff in some room. It was locked, but it was some stuff he wanted to get to. He goes outside. He takes an airsoft gun, shoots it twice, trying to get in there. Basically, the mom finds out. He makes up a story like, yo, yeah, I ain't do that. Somebody else did it. And then the mom says, oh, well, word, let me call the cops. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this straight drop nigga, I don't know who this person is while I'm playing the video. He did make a valid point, right? Like, if the on had illegal guns in the room, while it's like saying that you get your weed spot robbed and you said call the cops. I get that. That does make some sense, right? Like, hold on, yo, like AJ, if you got the trap spot and the trap spot just got robbed by the neighborhood dope man or the neighborhood jack boys, do you call the cops or not? No, AJ not even here. Well, facts or Wale, do y'all niggas, would y'all call the cops? Y'all running the trap house, niggas came in there, stole some shit. You know what I mean? Would you call the cops?
Oh, because you're gonna get in trouble too. When the cops come and gonna be like, what they stole?
Oh, pistol.
You gotta take care. If you're doing street stuff, you gotta take care of it in the streets.
Pistol P.
If it was just a
Pistol P says, "Act, who calling the police to a house where the poles are at, bro?" Well, he said it's on call the cops. He ain't call the cops. Yo, nigga said AJ definitely called the cops. Oh, man. I don't know, man.
Why niggas always right? Like, why niggas always gotta open their mouth? I don't get it, bro.
Well, there's two things too, right? Number one, I wouldn't call 1090 Jake a snitch no matter how. But also, I would say this, right? Yo, it seemed like he was a teenager, my guy. Like, yo, bro, like, yo, we
Nope, we can't do that because everybody's been young. Everybody.
Bro. He didn't know better.
From Philly? Who was the dude from Philly? The young dude, like he was like 13, 14.
Papa Hanna, the convertible nigga.
We didn't give him no. He can't even make a song now.
Yeah, but them niggas, even if they got locked up, them niggas didn't go really to jail. Them niggas like went to a program or something. Like nah, bro. Like y'all niggas is really tweaking on Jake, bro.
Bro, the minute you write a statement,
he ain't write the statement. He just said the statement, bro. So that's different.
No,
I'm serious.
You tweaking? He said it.
So if you send a text message, it's not snitching. But if you say it over the phone, it's all bad.
Nah, I fuck with Jake. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I really like Jake. I just think that he fucked up. He'll say that he fucked up too.
God damn.
He'll say that he fucked up.
The irony
Nigga,
is
baby trying though. I guarantee you, baby trying ain't gonna snitch. He locked up.
Is it baby trying? He finna snitch too?
Nah, he ain't gonna snitch. I believe baby trying a real one. I don't think he gonna snitch.
Baby trying is out, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all though. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. Listen, we gotta call Jake, but really to get the full answer on what's going on, man, we gotta do this, bro. Hold on.
Call Dago.
We gotta call Dago, bro. We gotta call Dago right now, dog. Somebody get Dago on the phone right about now. We gonna
call Dago. Call Dago. Call Dago. Call Dago. Call Dago.
Dago's my man, Act.
Yo,
Official.
AJ, the chat voted. They say you definitely calling the cops. You know what I mean? You running.
Nigga, stop it, bro. Nigga, ain't nobody built that shit.
You running the stash house. You know what I mean? A nigga broke the locks to the stash house. You know what I mean? They ain't get in yet, but you know what I mean? They broke the locks. Would you call the cops to report that, you know what I mean, there was an attempted break-in?
My phone don't dial 911.
Stop it, bro.
Act. Aren't you going, nigga? I hand you my phone.
Call Dago.
Whenever I see you, nigga. Try dial 911, nigga. It won't work.
Does your phone
call Dago?
Could your phone call Dago?
Nah, Dago's an official nigga. Of course it can.
Yo, nah, hold on now. I'm gonna get my man Jake in here because y'all really playing with his head. Y'all playing with that nigga like, yo, you know what I mean? All right.
Is this karma? Is this what they call karma?
What do y'all think is karma? No, bro. Nah, like I think it's a. Yeah, I don't think I'm trolling if I say this, but I think it is a misunderstanding. I'm about to hit him right now.
It was just a misunderstanding.
Yo, join chat. Okay.
Hey, did Playboy Cardi make bail yet?
Nah, he's been made bail. So that's an old story.
All these shits be old.
Discord.
Like, that shit old as fuck.
Yo, Act, man, you missed what happened yesterday, nigga.
Wait, what happened?
Ran niggas out that Discord, nigga.
Wait, who?
Jake here.
And that other Discord nigga took everybody's fucking money, nigga.
Y'all can hear me?
Yo,
yeah, we
Jake.
hear you.
Oh shit.
Hey, by the way,
I was getting on this shit before I got the text message.
Oh, and by the way, all y'all niggas who was in here with the extra ad libs, y'all better keep the same energy.
No, I'm definitely gonna keep the energy.
All right, okay. So Jake, I just watched some shit. Like apparently, you got a nigga. I don't know if he is the nigga who made the video, but there's a nigga in my YouTube chat, YouTube streaming chat. They got all type of videos. Basically, this is what they told me, and I was just about to move on because this shit was just too confusing. But one guy made a video, and you tell me if this is accurate, whatever. I think you spoke on this before. There was an incident where the police came, and it was something to do with a window being shot at, or like something like that, right? Apparently, you know, I think what you've said before on Adam and otherwise, that, yo, listen, you know, you actually did it. The police came, obviously not trying to get in trouble. You're on call the cops. You basically say, yo, listen, man, 2 other niggas did it. Blah, blah, blah. The cops, they know what to do. They basically just wrote in a report, pretty much closed story. This new guy, or some new information, I guess they're saying, is like, yo, listen, the two, you basically described 2 people, and the cops locked up 2 people. And essentially, this guy had like a shit ton of paperwork, or I don't know, additional affidavits where he's now saying, yo, let's be honest, why would, if Jake's aunt had like some poles or some, you know what I mean, some things in a room and somebody tried to like break in or hit the window, why would she call the cops? So they're saying that you made a statement that locked somebody up. Please give us clarity, because I'm a little confused.
So I don't understand that part you just said. If she had guns in her room, why wouldn't she call the police?
Because I guess they're assuming that it's illegal guns, right? So it's some illegal shit. So it's like, it's like.
Well, I'm a respectfully assume that they're fucking retarded because we're speaking on Florida. You don't need a gun license to own a gun in your fucking room. So whatever my aunt had guns. Them ain't illegal guns. You see what I'm saying? It's the state of fucking Florida. You only need a gun license to carry a gun.
Yeah.
So me trying to get access to the guns for whatever reason I'm trying to get to them is some whole other shit. But whatever she had wasn't no illegal shit. So like I said, I popped the window and I shot it. See, this is where they specifically leave shit out, right? I shot it right above where the lock switch is. So I could stick something in there like a pen and flip the lock and get access into the shit.
I got in that Uber yesterday. The nigga was annoying, bro.
AJ, you're not muted, bro. You're not muted. All right, go ahead.
Shit fucked me up. I'm like, what, an Uber? Nah, so like I was just saying, I popped. It, called TPD and said, hey, apparently there's a paper saying 2 people were arrested from this incident. I want the entire report. They told her, we don't have any record of anybody being arrested or detained, and if we did, it would have been added to the supplementary report. So we don't know what paper that's talking about. So when I seen dude's video, in one little segment, he shows the case number at the top. The case number looked blurred, right? It looked identical to the other case number, but it's not in that. And then there's one number, it's a 9 that looks like a possible 3. She requested that. Nothing came back. So this paper that's saying 2 individuals was arrested, I can't get. I don't know how anyone got it, if it's real, what it is, because my aunt requested the entire fucking thing, and she's getting the unredacted reports because she was the victim in the case. Now, she says she wanted to press charges. If anybody was picked up, they would have presented that to her because that's what she says she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Nobody was brought to her. Nobody existed. So I don't understand how there's all this other shit and there's apparently 18 pages and the 18 pages ain't dropped.
So essentially, this particular portion where they're saying 2 individuals was arrested, this is fake.
What I'm saying is I can't get it. If you can get it, then we can go from there. Because the person that's saying it's real switched the story 3 times. First, he said they found 2 people and one of them had a gun, which he fucked up because he was just reading the original report in which they said they were looking for 2 people, one of them having a gun. Then he said they got picked up but let go. He said they got arrested and then it got whatever, they got released. And then he said they got detained but released to their parents. So there's 3 different narratives.
All right,
but the thing that ain't making sense is he talking about somebody got released to their parents or they got released, whatever. Where is the paper saying that?
All right, that's
take that narrative.
All right, Jake. I get what you're saying, but that's like, all right, nobody got locked up. All right, cool, we get that, right? But the problem is if you did say what they saying that you said, like if you did give that statement to the police, even if the people was made up or not, that's still ratting. And I say that because
are you rat on 2 people that don't exist?
Wait, hold on. That's the same thing Boston Richie said he did. The same thing he said he did. He said he made, and I'm just holding you to your own standards. Boston Richie said he snitched on. He made up 2 people, whatever the case may be. He made up 2 people that wasn't real, and you did the same thing. But you still calling Boston Richie a snitch, right? So I feel like
so
if
then
it's
you
gonna
not
be that
holding
way,
Boston Richie to the same accountability, because Boston Richie identified multiple people, not just two people, multiple people. And then we broke down how he knows the individuals that he mentioned, because some of them were also mentioned in the fucking witness list. And then he claimed that his brother or cousin that passed away didn't know Eddie Butler, who he named multiple times. But you go on his cousin's Facebook and he's friends with the same Eddie Butler. So we broke down that the people wasn't no fake people. He identified 3 people by photo lineup. It gets extensive.
So you telling me? So you telling me? Okay,
real quick. So Pistol P, it looked like he's been like really donating back and forth. Look like he's heavily invested. I don't know if he's a YouTuber or whatever. He says, "Yo, what's 1090 Jake talking about?" He literally said, "I don't want to speak much on it, but she had guns. Did I miss something?" I guess he's saying you alluded to the fact that maybe them guns wasn't on the up and up. But
that's what I'm saying. What are they fucking retarded, bro? It's the state of Florida. You don't. Anybody that's over the age of 18 can walk into a store and get a gun. If you're 21, you can get an AK and bring it home. You only need a fucking gun license to carry. In the state of Florida. You need a gun license to own a gun.
I feel, that person should just drop the link to the Discord so that they can come in here, act. But Jake, I feel like even speaking on the gun situation, I feel like that's dragging it. The main problem is you mention names even if the people didn't exist. I feel like if anybody else,
let's break that down.
Yeah, he didn't mention names. I
It
guess
was
he gave a
nothing but
description.
name. If I'm in a fucking neighborhood and I say, "Oh yeah, I seen a white dude and a Chico dude just run off," what name did I just mention?
So you trying to?
It says in the paper at the same time. He said he can't identify them. He's never seen them before.
So you trying to tell me if you be like, yo, it was 2 white dudes that had on blue jeans and a red shirt, and them 2 white dudes, and not the dudes that you mentioned, just 2 random ass white dudes that got that on, they get bumped for that. That's not snitching. If they was to get locked up for that shit. And you said
did anybody get locked up? If you in a neighborhood and say, "Hey, some black kid just robbed me," and they pick up any random ass black kid, but then they let his ass go, it's a fucking coincidence that there's a kid right around the corner.
I just feel like you're not holding that shit to the same standard.
I just feel like you're looking for something too, because you just switched it to you just named somebody. I didn't name
Jake, you know I.
And then they trying to come up with, "Oh, he must have told on his aunt because guns are illegal." I don't know where the fuck y'all
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Hold on, Jake. Let me ask you a direct question, right? Because again, I'm gonna believe you. You said this additional paperwork where they're saying someone got arrested. You've never seen it. Y'all haven't gotten it yet, or whatever the case is, right?
This paperwork that's saying 2 individuals got locked up is the only piece of paper that's come out where the case number is cropped out.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. If this was real in terms of the paperwork, what would you say towards that?
If the paper was real that 2 people got picked up?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I'm going to say it like this. If there's something on me, I wouldn't spare me because I'm not sparing nobody else. If 2 people got locked up from the situation, that's my fuck up. If 2 people got grabbed, detained, and released, I don't see none of that.
So if you give a description, it's not snitching. Like, it's
if
cool.
you give a fake description to throw a police officer off, you tell me what that is. Because I'll tell you something since you brought up Boston Richie. The people Boston Richie was around and cut him off. I ain't get cut off behind no situation.
Wait,
you see this piece of paper I just sent you?
Wait, what do you mean Boston Richie got cut off?
Man, them people he was claiming to be next to, whatever, the whole situation's dead.
Yeah, I see you sent me a paper. What is this?
Yeah, bring that one up. Because this is the funny thing about this, right? Is people talk about how come 1090 Jake don't talk about his own paperwork. I've done videos on my paperwork. This ain't no fucking... This isn't a case. This isn't a situation where I face time. This is a situation where my aunt would have took away my fucking Xbox. I was like 17 when this shit happened. So what I just sent you is the paperwork that the same dude that put this shit out, he claims to have this shit too, but he hasn't dropped this, for an obvious fucking reason. So this is the paperwork of my interrogation from when I was inside of jail for the case that I had caught that I went to prison for.
All right, give me 1 second. It's about to load up. Hold on. I can keep talking.
Motherfuckers acting like I'm hiding something. Boy, my whole fucking government name and DC number been out since day one.
So all right.
I'll take you.
So wait. So let me try to put. And honestly, I've said, number one, I don't think you're a snitch. I don't even think I even have authority to call people a snitch. But I don't think you're a snitch. I don't think Boston Richie's a snitch, right? And the reason why I say it is that I do see similarities in this case, right?
Well, this is what's funny, is the person that dug into this shit told me he got ties to the music industry and that he's looking into this shit because of the Boston Richie situation. And he claimed to have two people hit me up on behalf of Boston Richie to try to tell me not to drop the video. So I'm like, all right, well, ain't nobody hit me up, but why didn't you want the video to drop? And he was just like, oh, I just didn't feel like Boston Richie told and this and that. But mind you, this dude says he got ties to the industry, but he ain't telling me who he is. He got an anonymous YouTube page, an anonymous Instagram, whatever. But that's pretty much what this man told me.
That's odd.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so I got the document you sent here, but do you see a little bit of similarity though? I guess Boston Richie would say, well, sorry, I guess he would say, well, yo, you did give a description, whether you named somebody or not, whether you looked on a photo array and you pointed people out, you did give a description, whether it was real or not. He claims he was just pointing out people that had nothing to do with nothing, right? I would imagine Boston Richie's people would say, well, none of the people that were mentioned or anything ever got charged or locked up based on that particular investigation. And it would be the same that you're pretty much saying, that nothing that you said led to no one getting charged. So I guess he would say, well, if you aren't a snitch, why are you calling me a snitch? Because
I'll say like I'll throw gang politics aside and just speak on prison politics, right? You comparing a case in which my own aunt's window got shot with a BB gun to somebody voluntarily giving names in a homicide investigation.
Well, hold on. But I think his cousin or somebody got killed in the front of his yard. So it's not like he just ran into the precinct. He said no.
But he didn't get picked up after the homicide. He got picked up for loitering and then had that interrogation with the police. That he wasn't facing time towards that homicide. He wasn't picked up solely to speak on that homicide. He was already in contact with them for that homicide. He got picked up on a loitering charge. And they decided to interrogate him. And I'm assuming that's one of multiple interrogations because they dropped that other interrogation on Say Cheese. And I don't even know where that one is, to be honest. I never even found that one.
Yeah, I feel. All right, so tell me what we're looking at right here. I got the paperwork on
go up to the top real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta wait until it shows me it's at the top. All right, boom. I just wanted them to be able to get the case number. And then go down to the bottom.
Okay.
Where it just says all the shit.
You're going to see it in a second.
Yeah, right there. All right, so boom. If you want to just go through and read them 2 paragraphs.
On October 7th, 2012, at approximately 11 a.m., I became aware that Jacob Cherry had been arrested by the Tampa Police Department early that morning for burglary of a vehicle. Subsequent to the arrest by TPD and SNWMP 9mm handgun, serial number blah blah, was discovered on his person. They confirmed that the gun was stolen in the incident on October 11, 2012, approximately 10:15 a.m. I attempted to interview Jacob Cherry at the Falcon Road Jail. He was escorted to the interview room by corrections deputies. Upon entrance to the interview room, I advised him that I was investigating a burglary at his uncle's house. I asked him if he wanted to talk with me. He said, piss off. He said, piss off. The interview ended and he was taken back to his pod. On October 12, 2012, at approximately 1400 hours, I delivered a CRA for Jacob Cherry with charges related to this case. I don't know what CRA is.
So basically, when they took me out of the jail pod, they brought me down to where you normally meet with your lawyer or whatever, and there was 2 detectives. The shit lasted fucking 30 seconds. That's what happened. They bring me back. Then the next day I got hit with like 16 to 17 more felony charges. One of them was an armed burglary punishable by life in Florida. So this is a case where I'm actually facing some fucking time. This is the case I went to prison.
With other guns.
Yeah, there was 15 guns that got taken from my house.
Holy shit. Damn. So
Yo, Jake.
That's more or less how that whole situation popped off. That's the case I was.
Why'd you go to jail though? Couldn't you just be like, wait, I just got this gun in the streets. I never robbed that nigga to get it.
Nah, because you can't. If you're under 21, you're illegally carrying a gun. You can't carry a gun in Florida if you're under 21. So I got hit with carrying a concealed firearm.
That makes sense. What were you saying, facts?
I wanted to know, Jake, so when you was younger, right, in that case with the BB gun case, did you talk to the officers and tell them that it was 2 invisible people?
Did I say it was 2 invisible people word for word?
Like, you just gave them 2 made up people, right?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I really don't even remember the situation. I had to call my aunt, but I'm assuming that's what I said.
So, Jake, before this, you know I always fucked with you, like, and I still fuck with you. I personally don't give a fuck. But what I'm just saying is that's the only reason why it looks like niggas is saying that you snitch because of that right there. You feel me? Like, that's all I'm saying.
See, I can't, like, in my honest opinion, I can't even really wholeheartedly believe that because I can show y'all a 50-minute interrogation video of somebody's favorite rapper telling on everybody and they gonna say, nah, he ain't snitch. I just feel like it's hard to disprove somebody when they're not seeking the truth, but they're seeking what they want.
Nah,
And that's what I feel like people are looking. I feel like people are looking for what they want to be true, because there's a whole lot of other shit that they just completely avoiding.
There was some other people in here, AJ and everybody else, man. What do y'all think? Again, I feel like it's an interesting situation. Man, put it like this: if I listen to certain people, and Jake, I'm gonna be honest, even your own words, right? When you almost said hey, when you get asked by the police, the only thing you should say is lawyer, right? So I feel like they're trying to use that against you. And yes, it's probably incentivized because you expose somebody who maybe some people like, but they're like, yo, well, why don't you live up to what you're saying that other people should do? You know what I mean? Why didn't you say lawyer?
Well, I didn't say lawyer. The paperwork says I said piss off in this case, and this is a case where I'm actually facing some shit, where I have a co-defendant. There was a whole nother situation where somebody didn't even get charged. So I have a whole history of not saying anything. This is a situation where I wasn't even charged in the case, and I try to put blame on some whole other shit. Like, oh nah, two random people. See, this is the thing, bro. If I really break it down, right? Because someone broke it down and like fucked up at the same time. Because they were trying to say, oh, Jake lied. What? BB gun sounds like a gunshot. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So how the fuck did I hear it, right? That wouldn't make sense because I said, I heard a gunshot and then I saw a window I couldn't even see the window was broken unless I went outside because the door was locked. The house sits sideways. The front door doesn't face the street. The front door faces to the side. It sits sideways, kind of like a sideways trailer. So you wouldn't even see nobody. If I look out my fucking living room window, I'm looking at the house next to mine. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole fucking shit's fabricated and like literally broken down to where it doesn't even make sense. The report says he heard a gunshot. What airsoft sounds like a gunshot? They didn't even open the bedroom door until my fucking aunt comes home.
Hey, I agree. Hey, facts. AJ, Kyrie, I see y'all on in here. This is what I don't like what y'all do. When Jake in here, y'all all silent. But if Jake leave right now, y'all be like,
No. I already
y'all be
I
having
told-
mad
I
I have nothing to
opinions.
say to this. I think this is all like stupid, to be real. Like, none of this shit makes sense, and nor do I think people really care that much. But that's just me.
That's how I honestly.
I think our new name should be
I'm
the
not
Paperwork
gonna
Party
be
Poopers.
like, oh yeah, they pussy, they quiet. They might have been discussing some shit, and I might have just cleared some shit up. Now that I'm actually in here to explain it, because I still see people in the comments confused about what age you can be to carry a fucking gun in Florida
Yeah,
and all
that's not even the point of the contention in this conversation. To be real, it's
Fucking
like you said, like if you throwing people off the trail, you throwing people off the trail. There's nothing more to really talk about.
Yeah, I ain't gonna count. The chat just tired of this. They tired of this shit. But fucking, they said it's ridiculously
Yeah,
boring.
it's a paperwork party poopers right now.
Yeah, they saying it's boring. But I'm
Hold
just
on,
saying
wait, all right,
that's
all
my
right,
only
all right.
thing. Like, if you gonna
Let me
stand on
ask
that, you
you,
just gotta stand on that.
Jake. Let me
Especially
ask
when
you
you
then,
want
right?
to.
So,
I hear somebody, but they broken up.
Jake, let me ask you this question. So, since essentially for the last like 2-3 weeks, it feels like there's been pretty much a witch hunt for you, right? Have you rethought maybe how you're gonna go about, or even, obviously people tune into you for really good content, but are you gonna possibly like kind of stay away from, just labeling, like, especially artists, especially with the following, like, oh, this person's a snitch, and third, because it feels like, when people do like an artist, they're gonna make up reasons why not to accept whatever you say. And also, at a point, they might be like, nigga, let's talk about you.
I mean, I don't really give a fuck about what comes after, to be honest with you. Like I said, I don't care who still listens to Boston Richie. That ain't had nothing to do with the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna change shit. It's like I said, bro. If I had something on me, I wouldn't expect somebody to spare me because I'm not gonna spare them. You know what I'm saying? It's like my information been out since I started YouTube, bro. Like, this is the thing. The paperwork you looking at right now, I covered this case. I covered all of my cases. I covered my prison disciplinary reports. The same kid that tried to push paperwork on me went and got all the same shit. And he's seeing the same shit. This wasn't an actual case of mine. So this wasn't something that I'm able to fucking, like, I wasn't reaching out to the police departments to get paperwork. I'm going through the county clerk sites. So this kid actually told me, oh no, I went through the police department, called them, da-da-da. But I mean, like, the last 2 weeks, like you said, I'm in the midst of setting up the whole new YouTube studio. So I just got my PC back. I just got it redone. You know what I mean? And I'm about to go and install the monitors, this and that. So I already had an idea of what direction I'm going to take things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably not going to do it immediately. Because now it's going to seem like I'm switching up my content based on this situation, which I'm not even finna go for that. So I'm probably just going to ride out doing the same shit I've been doing till I hit that million, since I'm only 90K away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can fuck around and start branching out, because that's really how I blew up to begin with. Once I started popping off with the prison shit and hit 100K, everybody tried to do the same shit. Now there's 1,000,001 channels doing the same thing I'm doing. It's just not me doing it. So it kind of takes away from the success when everybody's doing the same thing. So you kind of got to like stay ahead of the game and jump into different situations, and you know what I mean? But no, I'm not changing shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, I feel like the biggest thing was that situation with the BB gun. It just felt like the goalpost was being moved for you compared to the same thing with Boss Richie did. That's what we was trying to get to the bottom of, because it's like it can't be like, oh, they like I say, oh, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. That's what it was feeling like.
I mean, I can respect that opinion. I can't take somebody's opinion away from them. I would just say, there's a big motherfucking difference in being the person that shoots out their aunt's window with a BB gun, trying to get the guns in her room, compared to somebody that's naming fucking 8+ people in a homicide investigation. But that's just my opinion.
I see somebody say, yo, Act, this got nothing to do with his other case, how you let him deflect.
It has nothing to do with deflection. It's an example of me actually facing time. This is an example of me actually getting sat down in a fucking jail interrogation, and that's how it went. They tried to interrogate me in prison too. They beat the shit out of me because I wouldn't tell on who cut me. Obviously, there's no paperwork on that situation, but it's another example. So it's like, if a motherfucker got a history of cooperating, they got a history of cooperating.
Hey, I'm satisfied. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying, if you're going to put paperwork out, put all the motherfucking paperwork out. Because if I had something on Boston Richie that would have made his ass look good, I would have put it out. But everything I pushed out was a fucking dub.
Somebody said that you had to somebody had to do community service because you had to cover yourself.
How to do community service?
Somebody else had to do community service.
Yeah, where was that?
Covered yourself.
Wait, what?
If your human
Where
rights
was
got
this at?
violated in prison, Jake, that sounds like a dope video to me. I want to hear about these, how the prisons being ran, how they, need to fix the Florida prison system.
No, I mean, if you go back, I got videos like 2-3 years old on all that shit. That's how I started my channel. Was talking about my experience in prison and bringing people on for interviews in prison, people I did time with, all that shit. So it's like I got all the videos breaking down them situations. I got the video where I talk about how I got cut. The CEOs beat the shit out of me because I said I fell down the stairs. They stomped me out, whatever. They put me in a cell under investigation for 5 days until I got transferred. They ain't even changed my clothes, so I still had the blood all over my clothes. They hot glued my face shut, all that shit.
And there was no paperwork on that. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is to say we can say that they lie. Like, we all know that they be lying about, because so paperwork doesn't necessarily mean anything. That's just what one person or officer typed up. They can lie. We didn't beat 1090 Jacob. We put him in a cell. No, y'all beat. You know what I mean? Like, we all know.
Nah, there wasn't no paperwork on that because they're not gonna write paperwork on that, and there wasn't no paperwork to write on me getting cut because nobody got booked for me getting cut.
But you see how they corrupt, and you see how we just going by paperwork ain't necessarily like that. Don't
Nah, but
necessarily
the
mean it's true.
DOC is a whole nother monster, bro. That can't even get compared to the streets. That shit's the Florida Department of Corrections is a fucking completely different conversation.
you're trying to deflect by showing the one time you didn't do something. That's not enough. Somebody named Honey's Nut says, bro, listen, what are we talking about? He is a snitch by his own rules. I don't know, man. Hey, I guess some people really just wanted you to just tell them people piss off both times. So you told them piss off one time. When the cops had came to you and be like, yo, who shot your auntie's window out? You should have told him, man, fuck y'all niggas. We don't give a fuck. I'm not telling you shit.
Facts.
Hey. And by the way, I think that's the interesting thing, though. So for everybody who's watching and consuming this content, you guys can make up your own mind. I think you guys want like this one definitive thing. I keep telling y'all, if you listen to 1090 Jake, and if he does a report and he comes to an opinion that somebody is, I call him truth teller. He might say snitch. If you feel they are, you should go by what you feel. I feel like he's putting information out as transparent. It's not like a nigga just coming out and be like, yo, he's a snitch. Just believe me, son. Like, yo, he's giving you enough information where maybe you look at the information and be like, nah, I wouldn't particularly call that a snitch. And you can make up your own mind. Like, at least for me, I'm not trying to socially program y'all. So, like, for example, even with Jake now, like, he's offering a response to say, yo, listen, the case that y'all are talking about, I named or described people, which he didn't name the one. He described people. He said, I described fictitious people. Nobody got locked up, and I wasn't going to get charged. Like, if anything, my family was a victim in it. You know what I mean? You guys let me know. I don't know, man.
Yo, Marv, go ahead, Marv.
Hold on, Jake. I do got a question for you, though. This Big Marv right here.
So,
obviously, I don't think you a snitch, bro. I think niggas is trying to reach because, with everything that's going on, they looking for something to say about you. But you still ain't really answer the question of how Buddy got all them, like, the info on you. Because you said you ain't never seen it. You said your auntie got all the paperwork. It's redacted, but you ain't never seen it before. So are you saying it's made up, it's fake? Or are you saying it's some shit that was, like, well hidden that you couldn't find?
No, it isn't. So people keep confusing the word redacted, right? Because somebody tried to say I tried to contact my lawyer and have the case redacted, right? I don't have a lawyer in Tampa. I had a public defender in all my cases. Redacted is just the words that are completely blacked out on the paper, like the victim, the two juveniles that were allegedly arrested. So what he told me, and the difference between what I did on myself and what he did, is I got all my paperwork through the Hillsborough County court site. The courts get their paperwork from the sheriff's office. What he told me is the Tampa Police Department is the one that had all the additional paperwork. So he had to actually reach out to the Tampa Police Department to get all the shit that I've never seen. And that's the reason Hillsborough County courts never had all that shit. So I never saw it, right? So when he's showing the BB gun incident, I know that's a real incident. So I'm not saying that that's fake paperwork. I know it's a real incident. And there's 8 pages of it that I now have where I can see literally everything, including my aunt's name. But the piece of paper where it's saying that 2 people was arrested or charged or whatever, that doesn't have a case number. He didn't show the case number. The case number was cropped out. I've had my aunt request and try to find any documentation so I could actually view this, and he claims that it's either 16 or 18 pages long, which is longer than the original report, but no one's been able to get back. So the records called her back, told her we don't have any document of that. If we did, it would have been in the original report that we sent you, added to the supplementary report. So I don't know what that is. I'm expecting that he's going to answer that since he's the one that's pushing that.
So if the people's is saying that they don't know what it is, they ain't never seen it before, that means it's fake then.
Well, that's what I would assume, right? And the funny thing about it is there's one picture that came out of it being blurred where you can see the case number on top. And you can't really tell if it's a 9 or a 3. If it's a 3, we requested that. That's a case out of New Tampa that has nothing to do with the situation. And if it's a 9, when you request that paperwork, it's the same 1 through 8 pages. And then at the top, there's also a typo where it says copy, it says COPT. And then the fucking, the font of the report is in a different font than all the other reports. So these are all things that I like looked at. And my aunt was like, yeah, it looks like somebody just pieced this shit together. I'm like, I don't know if he'd really be that stupid to do that. Like a motherfucker wouldn't find out, but I don't know.
So we got to bring him in here. We got to ask him what's up.
I can't fucking find it.
That's
all right, but can you clarify one more time for the chat though? Because niggas be saying, oh, they think it's the same shit. Clarify one more time that the difference between you and Boston Richie is you said it was invisible people, nobody that they could actually find, and Boston Richie gave out real people that they later on found out that it was real people that existed. Can you just clarify that one more time?
Yeah, I gave out 2 descriptions and he gave out fucking names, right?
Okay.
Paperwork party.
Is everybody satisfied, man?
I'm satisfied.
All right, chat. Are y'all good with this? Listen, this to me is a done and moot point unless somebody shows that what that individual was saying that 2 people got locked up. If nobody got locked up, like what are we still talking about?
Well, this is the other thing that I was interested in, Act, that made me feel like, maybe that paperwork ain't fake because dude made the statement that they were released to their parents. So he said they got picked up, detained, but then were released to their parents. And I told him, that doesn't even make sense, bro. I done been locked up as a juvenile in Tampa. If you throw a brick at a fucking window, you get charged with throwing a deadly missile. You're going to get booked. You're going to get taken down to the Jack Center, which is the Juvenile Assessment Center. You're going to get processed. And you're either going to get released or you're going to go to the detention center for 21 days. So it's like, how did they just get released? And I'm assuming if they got released, it's because they pulled up on them and, oh, y'all got anything to do with this? No? Okay, never mind. That's what I thought would have been in the rest of the 18 pages that was supposedly out there, but none of that shit ended up getting pushed.
This might be a setup then. Might be a setup. All right. Chat. We're gonna move on from this, yo. Jake, listen, appreciate you like always for hopping on here. Rather than having the speculation, you address the shit quickly, swiftly, and you always come with some proof. I do know, and by the way, this is what you have to worry about pretty much. You have spearheaded a new lane that's on YouTube of people getting and putting forth paperwork, and I think maybe a lot of people thinking the quickest way to gain a reputation is to knock the head off the snake, and not necessarily call it a snake, but it's just like, yo, if we expose 1090 Jake, like shit, we're fucking made. So you're probably gonna get people that's gonna question situations with you, or try to dig into something, or try to find some stuff that they believe exists. Hopefully, this is all smoke and mirrors, and you get to keep doing whatever you're doing. Because even though I don't even think people would care, but
yeah, I was just about to say, like, in your honest opinion, do you even think it fucking matters?
No.
I was about to say, like, because the thing is, the difference between a YouTuber and a rapper, that rapper is no longer able to collab because nobody wants that shit on them. A YouTuber, you work solely by yourself, bro. I don't need nobody want that shit on their name, but I don't think
the
I don't
only
think
thing
it's
I
the
would
same
say
standard.
Only thing I would say though is it definitely wouldn't matter. But the only thing I would say is that they would look at other content that you would do, potentially calling anyone else a snitch. They would look at it
It's being a hypocrite.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. But another thing too, to add on to your question of if I plan on changing my style of content. See, what's crazy is I never wanted to be a rapper because I just felt like it's a death wish. It's like a roller coaster until that bitch drops. You know what I'm saying? It just comes with a whole lot of beef and unnecessary shit. And with this YouTube shit, once I started pushing paperwork, and like I said before, this whole shit came about really accidentally, but once I started putting that out, it pretty much brought on all of those same problems in the street. So it's like, what's the point of stopping now if what I already did is done and what's up is already up? You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's like, it is what it is at this point. Even if I stop, that ain't gonna make the motherfucker that got exposed feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna change his mind on what took place already. So it's like, you gotta stand on that shit.
Yeah. Wow. Shit. All right. Anything else to add from anybody else in here? Jake, when could we see like an announcement of like what you're gonna be doing, whether it's streaming, new content? Because people still, they obviously care about you.
Man, I say probably like a week, honestly. I got to get everything set up correctly. In about a week, I'm going to show y'all an entirely new YouTube studio, new setup, new everything. So give it about a week and I'll have that shit going.
Would you consider incorporating something like the Snitch Hall of Fame?
Nah. I mean, I might do a compilation video or something like that, but
yeah,
I'm trying to expand a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, which I think is dope. Because unfortunately, because this content is so like people are so rabid to consume this content, they're gonna try to pigeonhole you into it. But again, definitely, if I could give you any advice, work to figure out and just do other things that. This should be one of the things you do. You know what I mean? And it is one of the things you do, but you want it to be one of the things you're known for. Right?
Right.
All right, my man. I'm gonna hit a couple more topics, and then I'm gonna get the fuck off of this bitch. Chat. I gotta go somewhere really special in the morning, but I definitely wanted to get tonight Jake on here. Salute to him for coming on here. Let me hit a couple more topics real quick, and Jake, I'll give you the last word before I'm about to mute up on this shit.
No, yeah. Just once again, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
All right, no doubt, my man. All right, chat. Let me hit a couple topics. I know y'all always get upset when I get on here and I start getting on Discord and I'll be like, yo, Act just fucking leaves right after. So I'm not. A couple things real quick.